Hi, sculpture friends. I want to talk to you about our first kind of experimentation and manipulation with clay. The reason we're going to do this just a little one-day activity is so you can get to know the materials of clay and the tools that you have in your bucket. Everyone got a nice chunk of clay, and then you got one big one and one small one. You're gonna take the smaller piece and you'll be using half of that. But before you get started, and what the activity is, you'll want to find some newspaper or some kind of paper to work on so you don't mess up the table. So at this time, make sure you have newspaper laid down. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is you'll look in your bucket and you'll see that you have some tools. You should have some of these plastic modeling tools. You'll have a credit card, which you might need to cut in half, and that is going to act as your scraper. And if possible, ask your parent or guardian if you could borrow a fork, or maybe you have a plastic fork around the house that you could use. So check to see if you have all your supplies, and we're going to be, and you have a sponge. And most likely all of you have a sponge of some sort in your bucket as well. So we're going to get started. So with the small piece of clay that I've asked you to cut in half, or that smaller piece, and before we begin, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. I would like you to find an object, either in your house or on your phone, that you could sculpt. Now, I don't want to know what it is. If we were in school, and if it wasn't COVID, we would blindfold ourselves and I'd give you an object to feel, and then you would sculpt it. You're welcome to do that, but I'm not asking you to do that. I want you to do a miniature sculpture of something, but I don't want you to do an orange or a banana or something that's fairly simple. I'd like you to get a little bit more complex than that if possible. Some students in here yesterday sculpted a screwdriver. Someone did a ladle, a water bottle with all the ridges. It was really quite fun to see. You don't have to keep these objects, but if you want to keep them, you're more than welcome to. And I want it to be a realistic object. I don't want it to be an imaginary object, unless, for example, you have a dragon or a dinosaur or something like that, a plastic one. You can sculpt that. So that is the assignment for today. And then you are going to take a picture of your sculpture and send it in to me. And it doesn't have, what I want you to do is just to get to know the materials of clay. And when we're working with clay, it is in the green state. That means it hasn't been fired, it's very malleable. One thing to be aware of when you're working with clay is that the moment you expose it to air, it starts to dry. So whatever you don't use, put it back in the plastic bag and seal it up. It also will dry out your hands. It will not stain your clothes. So just know that. And it can be messy if you use too much water. And so I would ask you to try to avoid not using water. You can get your sponge wet, wring it out, and just use the sponge or the moisture that's left in the sponge. If that makes sense. So, and we're gonna have a more detailed video about clay coming up, but I just wanted you to kind of experience and work with it and send me a picture of what you made. And I'd like that, either email it to me at karih@mystma.org. And it's okay if it's a complete failure, but at least you've had this experience of trying to work with clay. and I hope you all have a great day. I miss all of you this is a unique experience for all of us, so we're doing our best, and I look forward to having you back in the classroom soon. All right, you guys have a great day and good luck, and I can't wait to see your results. All righty, bye-bye.